When you have children on the autism spectrum, you are their biggest advocate always. And my experience comes from having two children on the autism spectrum, and they're considered high functioning. I don't like that term, but at the end of the day, that is where my experience lies. Autism is a spectrum. So sometimes things that I may say may not apply to people who are on a different part of the spectrum. So anyway, I have, like I said, my two younger children on the spectrum. And my oldest son, I had to go through everything from the beginning. So from like not knowing what's going on to finding out what's going on, and then kind of getting the services and everything that he needed. But then, so at that time, I'm like, okay, I'm an expert. So when the second one came around, it was just like, okay, I got this. I know what to do. Boom, boom, bang. But just from diagnoses to services to everything was totally different in both cases, which I could go into in another story. But I want to talk about my youngest son. So he was in a D75 program from kindergarten up until February last year. And now he's in the third grade. But the experience was not good. Okay. Now I did meet amazing people that work there, but just the experience wasn't good. So like my older son, he really didn't have behavioral issues in his D75 setting. So I really didn't experience like anything crazy or different. But then my younger son, you know, because of how he was diagnosed and everything, started out in a public school. And then I had him transferred to a D75 situation. And in that situation, they still were not able to help manage his behaviors to a fault. And it got so bad where like I had to transfer him out because the behaviors were just so like off the charts, like really bad. And before transferring him, it came to a point where I was being called every single day to pick him up from school. So I transferred him to a new school. And, you know, when I first got there, I was scared. And I kept trying to tell all the staff, oh my God, you know, I was just like really like trying to explain his behaviors. And it was kind of like they didn't even care. It was just like, whatever. Right. But I guess it was maybe my anxiety and just my experience based on like where he was at. So they told me like the first day, 20 minutes, you know, there was an issue. He melted down, but then he calmed down, and there has been nothing since. And we're talking about since February last year. You know, like he just never had any issues. I never received any phone calls, and I'm like, this is the way it's supposed to be. His teacher, amazing. And then he transferred into a new class, you know, for third grade. And his teacher is just like, she cannot even believe what she read in his previous reports. Like, they don't believe that this is the same kid. So much and so that like a para, I guess the para was a floater. So they go from school to school as needed. And they was like, that kid looked familiar. Who is that kid? And they're like, T-John. And they're like, are you sure? And the para started explaining to the teacher the kind of person he was in the old school. And like his teacher could not believe it at all whatsoever. So anyway, the science teacher called me today, and I've been going to IEP meetings. So I've been getting like really good reports. But I'm just going to tell you what this teacher said today. She said he's well behaved. He follows directions. He's a team leader. He's a great collaborator with other students. He's very independent, and like he doesn't make the other kids feel bad even when they do mess up. He has a level of control, and they can depend on him. Like even when things are going on around him, they can depend on him to maintain calm and maintain, you know, his control. And you know, she just, you know, I guess congratulated me or praised me for just being his number one advocate. And, you know, she said herself that she read the reports as well as like the other teachers of what was written about him before. So like the way he was written about, like you would have thought he was like the devil with horns on his head himself. I'm just being honest. And they said they were waiting. Nothing ever happened. So, you know, it was a great thing that I did eventually have to advocate for my son and get him in the setting that he needed to be in to thrive. And that's basically what he's doing right now. He's thriving. And I'm just like really grateful and happy. And not happy that I had to kind of go through that experience. But then again, I guess it could be a good thing because, like I said, all kids are not the same, all programs are not the same, all everything is not the same. So each experience you're going to learn and grow. If you have any questions in regards to the journey, because I've done like so many videos on like how they were diagnosed and the differences, or maybe I haven't. But if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll more than likely be able to do more videos for you. But like I said, my perspective comes from two children that are considered high functioning. And even though I have the two with the same diagnoses, they are when I tell you two total different kids, like, yeah, they're two total different kids. But that's all I got to say. So thanks so much. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all the good things. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.